Buenos dias. All right. It's pretty much the reason why I stayed out of the market today is solely because, like I covered yesterday, all right. I don't want to say we were predicting, but if we had to make those strong, uh, if we had to map out the road to where we're headed, we had a list of options, right? Our most probable one was Exhibit A. All right. We mount the strong level, bring it back up to 25, 26, right? Now, time and time again, this is our true level of support and resistance. All right. Now, like I covered yesterday, pretty much saying it only makes sense, especially before who comes into office? Kevin Warsh. All right. The chairman of the Federal Reserve. All right. So it only makes sense that we actually push back on up and then they tank it. All right. Everything's looking good. I'm not saying that, fundamentals aren't there. I'm not saying that, we didn't do all the proper how do you call it? Take all the proper precautions. Just everything textbooks wise, right? Okay, but still, we blew straight through this 200 SMA, the 200 day, and yep, that's pretty much it. All right, so if we go ahead and we remove these drawings right here, okay, this green line, the red line, the green line is 200 day, red line is 200 SMA. All right, blew straight through. No retest of any sort whatsoever. That's probably the only technicality that I got to look at and think a little sus. All right. So let's bring this back up. All right. So if y'all followed yesterday's video, which y'all should have, we're gonna get a rejection here pretty soon. All right. When something's too good to be true, more than likely it is. All right. I don't know if how y'all's lives work, but mine definitely works that way. All right. Uh, take my dating life, for instance. All right. My love life, too good to be true, big dog. All right. So this is the only next things that I could think of, right? Already pretty much laid it out. We get a rejection here. If anything, we'll get a mount, right? Guys, there you go. We get this mount, get that retest. Might even get, and then we watch us break back down. All right. If not, all right, well, pretty much we'll come back down to this 25, 232 level, right? But if not, now we're sitting at all time highs. All right. All time highs, but third time's a charm on getting shut down. Not a good look, right? But either way, that would still give us confirmation on consolidation. All right. This meaning we just continue consolidating sideways right here. We continue consolidating sideways right there, looking beautiful to the upside for the entire market, the economy, everything. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure most of y'all are wondering why would it go down, Mark? Look, look how strong and bullish this is, right? I can't argue there. These are a strong count, and this isn't on like no 15 minute, no 5 minute, no 1 hour. This is legit like 4 hour. This is 4 hours of just pure buying, right? But then it starts consolidating, drops down, and you don't see the buying as strong. That right there, like I said yesterday, just a little finicky. All right. I don't know where that word came from. It just popped up in my head. All right. So look, I love what I see here inside the market. All right. Y'all have been hearing me for days. We need below 20. We need to start reaching 13, right? I like the number 13 for the VIX. It's just always been steady. If you get any pops, it shoots back up, shoots back down. Anything below, it's even better. All right. But we're sitting here resting on the 4 hour right here at the 200 day at 1817. Okay. We've broken down that we got a huge gap right here to the upside. All right. This is a lot of areas that we need to go ahead and just mark out as a collective, y'all. Okay. So let's mark out our fair value gap. All right. You see our points 2102 and 2571. All right. It's when we exit, it's when we enter. All right. So the VIX pretty much coming to a big a big crossroad. Let's just call it that. All right. When we go and we look at the rest of the market, it's all doing the same thing, right? Just gap, gap, gap. There's another gap even right here. Let's go and let's mark that out for those who are not too familiar with gaps. Okay. Boom. We got one right there. Google taking off. Nvidia. Oh God, I was like Nvidia 350s. Tripping. Tesla. All right. Tesla looking strong. Kinda. I'm not even gonna lie. We get this rejection right here. As y'all could see, let me go ahead and let me get rid of this. Okay. Been rejecting nonstop at this 200 SMA. Here's the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. Kind of might even be might even be the sixth, but right here, right? Popped up to 372. We reject. We're gonna start seeing lower. All right. Nvidia just on a rampage all the way back up to 196. All right. I know, and I'm with y'all. I really am with y'all. I'm with the technicalities. I'm like I said, we get above back 25, shooting into 26. I mean, that's the only way that we're gonna get bullish. I've been saying this for such a long time. All right, folks. I bet you oil's down too. Look at that. Oil 91. Okay. But this is the problem, folks. We're here at the 200 SMA. Okay. Let's just get rid of this, right? We're at the 200 SMA. This is a big level for oil as well. All right. Just mark that right here. You got that? Man, no, we don't. Give y'all better numbers. Okay. Where is it at? Okay. Huge level. All right. I'm marking this real time live for y'all. All right. That's no coincidence. All right. Me, if you're like me, I just don't believe in coincidences. I think it's fake. I think certain things happen for certain reasons. I'm not even a big proponent on fate. Destiny, I do believe in, there's a certain path you're supposed to walk, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we do have free will. All right. And when you see things like this, it's not a coincidence that you get bought, you fall down, you get bought, you shoot back up. You know what I'm saying? You get bought right here, shoot back up. All right. Now, granted, on the 4 hour, there is an age pattern. All right. You got to give credit where it's due to where we could see oil come down. All right. So I'm not taking that away that we could actually see, some resolution throughout this I don't want to say triumphant time, but through, this let's call it a bit of a rough season for us, okay? Now, if we lose that 200 SMA, that level right there, then I definitely do see us coming down a lot more, okay? Probably even back down to the 60s, 70s, with everything being so calm, right? So, I mean, the charts are looking great, okay? Charts are looking great, and if anything, y'all know me, I am such a huge chart guy. It's just men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. The information is right here, right before your very own eyes. All right, you get your numbers, you get the actual where smart money institutions, big oil companies, big everything. All right, this is where you get their the actual evidence of what is actually going on in the market, where the money is flowing, where you seeing it directed to. When they're telling you we're thinking about investing it left, but you see price go right, why would you invest left when you see where they're dumping all the money, where all the capital is going to? All right, so this is things that I need y'all to just okay, download, and this is why I always say, okay, you wanna you wanna have more than just one strategy. You wanna have just more than just one way of looking at the market. All right, because I'm about to go against probably everything that I say. But when you learn how to trade, then you can tell me. Okay, all right. I love what I see across the board. Okay. And normally I'd be flipping my hat too. All right. I really would. But also at the 200 SMA, this is where we have to be mindful and not get too excited with this rally, okay? Because this is where we can get a lot of support. 200 SMA is where we mainly get a lot of support, all right? So write that down, take a note, save it in the bank, do whatever you got to do, okay? But now when we look at things, all right? So like I said, the market has a lot to do with politics as well. All right. And, not to stand here and get political, not saying that I'm left, not saying that I'm right. Don't ever put words inside my mouth. All right. Don't ever try to say what I am, put me in a box because I guarantee you, breaking out of it, y'all ain't going to like it. Okay. So Iran says it has alternative trade routes through Russia, Central Asia, and China. Warns U.S. blockade will backfire. Okay. So I just want to ask, where are all of my conspiracy theories right now? Okay, because everyone loves to sit there and be conspiracy theorists about what happened in the past. How come no one's asking questions about what's happening right now? Y'all should be blowing my line up, all right? My main thing, okay? My main thing here that I don't like, let's see. Let's do Iran, right? Let's do there, and then we'll do. I'm about to bring this up for y'all. All right, all right. Excuse me. Okay, like I said, I don't believe in coincidences. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's bring up the internet. Okay, good old internet. All right, so news about the U.S. blockade, uh, Iran. All right, so fresh friend. All right, let's see. Iran's armed forces accused of U.S. piracy ahead of planned blockade, which comes after marathon weekend talks ended without a peace deal. All right. Let's see. U.S. military blockade of all of Iran's ports and coastal areas went into effect of 10 a.m. Eastern. According to the U.S. military, it will allow ships to transit the Strait of Hormuz if they are traveling between non-Iranian ports. President Donald Trump has said earlier that the U.S. Navy would prevent ships from passing through the key waterway. Coincidence number one, right? That's the first half, right? Let's call that part A. Okay. Next, China. China's position on the Strait of Hormuz blockade. China has issued the strongest public criticism yet of the U.S. military blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz, calling it a dangerous and irresponsible act that risks undermining the fragile ceasefire and jeopardizing safe passage for all ships. Okay. At a press conference, the U.S. Chinese official Chinese response on April 14, 2026, Foreign Ministry spokesperson, not going to say the name, going to butcher it, warned that the U.S. action would aggravate confrontation, escalate tension, and threaten the already fragile truce. All right. He stressed that only a comprehensive ceasefire can create conditions for easing the situation and restoring normal traffic in the strait. All right. Right here. President Xi Jinping, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. All right. Echoed these concerns, saying the world must not revert to the law of the jungle and that China will continue to play a constructive role in promoting Middle East peace talks. Okay. That's all I wanted to get across when it comes to this video today. All right. With that being said, folks, we'll go over that later. Okay. With that being said, when China is making their way to the Strait of Hormuz, the US is blocking it off, right? You know what? Let's take it back because I was thinking about how I was going to do this video today, all right? And all right. Boom. See if we get a good picture here. All right. So, actually no, cuz I feel like let's do this. Beautiful. Even better. All right. So, right here, folks. I like that. There you go. Whatever. All right, look. Whichever side the blockade is on, right? If you're telling me that there's a blockade there happening. China is now making their way to the Strait of Hormuz, all right? My only big question, my only big two questions is this. Really, one, either we're now going, this is the beginning of the actual official war where I don't want to say World War III. All right. That may be like a bit of a stretch. I'm not going to lie to y'all. And it might be like, yo, chill, Mark. Right. But this could be the first domino. Let's put it like that. All right. The first tipping domino to what I was talking about yesterday in yesterday's video about how we're splitting the world in half right now, us and China, the US and China right now. All right. And it's all over Iran. The fact that we are now meeting halfways across the world, the Eastern and the Western are now meeting to a focal point, to literal line, okay, which is the blockade. And we're saying you cross this line, it's on. We drew a line in the sand with our foot and said, cross this line and watch what happens. That's what we're saying to China. And China's walking up to the front of the line saying, and if we do, then what? Now, that could either be the first domino to just a very, very, very dangerous path that we'll be walking. Now it is troops on ground. Believe that 100%, right? Things go wrong, right? But first that ever does happen, I don't want to say diplomacy is in full effect. I don't think that's anything that is too far of a stretch to imagine. Maybe I might be giving them too much credit. The governments of both parties, both sides, US and China. But you can only assume and have faith that they would actually be more diplomatic and come to some type of negotiation. Okay? Because as much as I've been screaming about it's about Israel and Iran, which it is, at the end of it, like I said, what's the biggest picture of it all, right? There's different tiers, okay? There's Pakistan, there's Iran, there's there's different levels to this, okay? Now when I talk about these certain levels, if Israel and Iran are not at the table, there's no deal being made, right? And then there's Pakistan trying to negotiate everything else. Different countries start butting in. They're all the lower tier, right? And then above that is Iran and Israel, okay? And then above that is the US and China, okay? So the two big dogs are meeting at the focal point on what we're arguing about. All right. You can only assume that there's going to be some type of negotiation. There's talks right now because I mean, look at all great wars over the past of time. There has been some point. Let's just take it back to uh, Greek mythology when Achilles was going to go out to fight these certain battles. Take it all the way back then, right? When they're going and they're about to go toe to toe. Both arm. We got one army on this side, one army on this side, and before they clash, we got two leaders meeting in the middle, and they will discuss the terms and conditions, talking about who will fight. Are we gonna fight? If not, we'll send our best warrior out, and we'll have one man duke it out. If not, me and you could duke it out, and if not, then fine. We'll let these thousands of men die to see who really is the best, or whatever for whatever it is that they're fighting for, right? So you have to think that this is exactly what's happening. What business? I mean, we all know what business China has with Iran, right? They're helping them supply the ammo. They already had certain deals involved with Iran when it comes to their oil. They've already had their structure with Iran. So of course, why would they not come and back Iran, right? We have the US coming in and trying to dismantle their structure, so that way they will no longer have the power and the strength to continue trying to be uh not only one, the world's reserve currency, but the most dominant power, the to being the top dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the US is trying to dismantle right now. All right. And when China sees that, of course, they're going to step foot in. They're going to want to take control, want to dictate some type of rules. And this is what I'm saying. Either we're going to agree to split the world in half, or we are going full brawl sanction right now. And no one even is really that much aware of it right now. But this is a big moment in time in history that it's going to help shape the next 50 years. Call me a skeptic. All right. I may be crazy, but you can't call me dumb. All right. So we're gonna take it back to the charts. That was today's lesson. Okay, on what's going on in the world right now. All right. I just can't help but look at this chart. This is the most important chart right now. All right. Yeah, we got some. It cooled off. Like I said, if the best way for this to work out, we got two global powers right now meeting in the middle. You're gonna sit there and tell me that they're not gonna for a second even come close to thinking about, hey, we could make some money off this deal, right? Hey, this is the furthest we've gotten. I got half the world, you got half the world. Let's just play it out. You know what I'm saying? Let's just. How could we really make it seem like we didn't just come up with the deal? Oh, let's do this. Let's bring the market back up, tank it. After that, do this, do that, left, right. You have to only assume, because it's not about left, it's not about right, it's about up and down. It's about the rich versus the poor, spreading that wealth gap in between, getting the left and right to come in between and break up a lot of the conversation that is really going on right now. All right, this is conversation that me and you are having right now. This is the beauty of where we live in. All right, that's why I say, if anybody tells you we live in a horrible time, a horrible country, I think we live in the best time. Okay. Oh, while sipping on a monster. I'm not sponsored. Not yet. Okay. But it's no coincidence that what I said yesterday happened. I don't believe in coincidences, folks. All I'm saying is, I think they're going to come up with a deal. Why start World War III right now? Things aren't that bad. Things aren't that crucial. It's not that much of a detriment. If anything, it makes a lot of sense. We can make a lot of money off of this until one of us gets greedy again, because in human nature, we get greedy all the time. We get greedy, then we'll see that big actual collapse of China and us going to actual war. Okay. But right now, what makes sense? What's that saying? If it makes sense, it makes money. If it makes money, it makes sense. All right. And the only thing that really makes sense right now, boost the market up, make it crash, hedge a lot of those positions, make a lot of money on the downfall, scoop up a lot of discounts, boom, send the market back up through the fucking roof, send it to new all-time highs. I mean, folks, we shot back up, and like I said, what I'm if there's gonna be a crash, it's gonna be before the new chairman of the Federal Reserve. Escalations are all-time highs. We start dictating a lot of different policies. We start putting things into motion right now before he is set, before he takes the office. From there, we already agreed on one side of the party and the other side of the party. This is what we're gonna do. This things works out. Boom. We even have the banks to back us up. Market shoots up, boom, get a wicked crash, maybe even a crash, maybe even a crash. All right, maybe even a crash. All right, but get some type of correction, something that says otherwise, that we're gonna just come back down, whether it's back here to this critical level 3 or even 6. All right, I don't know how much of a crash it'll be, and if there even will one. All right, I'm just saying now would be the best time to do it. Okay, while China's there at the Strait of Hormuz, so is America. You're telling me you're going out the middle of remote, military's blocking you. The only conversation that anybody can hear, you guys are mediating, not even mediating. I want to say negotiating on no man's land. It's I'm not on your land disrespecting you. You're not on my land disrespecting me. We're meeting somewhere where it's neutral zone, third party, where we can sit here and we can discuss with, and we know for thousands of miles who's coming. Got your army looking out, my army looking out. We could sit here and talk in privacy. Where are my conspiracy theories at now? Okay. There's the only two things that I can come up with as to what they're doing out there. All right. So all right. So take it back to levels. Okay. So that is how you have to start looking at things geopolitically. Okay. You have to understand what roles these countries are taking in today's affairs. Okay. And how it can affect what is going on in the market. Okay. So, like I said, I'm such a chart guy, but when I see charts start moving like this and I see escalations rising, when I see different different chess moves being placed all around the chessboard, I can only help but think like my enemy, like the opposition, the person that I am playing up against, saying, this is too good to be true. Am I walking into a trap? This is what I'm seeing. This is how I see a trap right now. Okay. So maybe they come up with a deal and it does go through the roof. Okay. Not a bad thing. I'm not opposed to it at all whatsoever. Okay. I don't care about being right. I just care about being on the right side of a trade. Okay. These are things that I have to prepare y'all for just in case, because I don't want y'all going long or going crazy. Because you know why? When everybody loves to dump their money inside the stock market, it's when it's going through the roof, we're sitting at all time highs. And then people lose money. People, oh, why did I invest all this money? Being this is that. I bought all this stock and now the market's gone down. Oh my God. That's all I'm hearing from a lot of folks right now. We're bullish. Everything's good. Everything's a clear. Everything's a go. Look, I am with y'all when it comes to the charts, right? Certain levels, but we're just blowing past these levels like we're in a damn Aston Martin, and the rest of the market and everyone else, like retail, like us, is in a Honda Civic. I'm just saying, be cautious, pump the brakes, think a little bit, take your time investing. Okay. When it comes to the stock market, it's not going nowhere. Okay. Stop trying to rush these plays. Stop trying to rush these plays. You can find something. Okay. As of right now, my hands, I'm not even sitting on them because I got my hands up because I'm like, I don't even want to touch the stock market right now because I want to see what it does first. We react. We don't predict. Okay. When we're sitting here trying to devise a plan, we can predict, say this, say that, do this, but we're not going to instantly just go and make a move without actually knowing the actual course on the way the wind is blowing. Okay. If we're navigating a ship, I'm not just going to steer the ship into uh east, you know what I'm saying? And all the wind is blowing west. Now I'm fighting upstream. Now I'm trying to force a trade. Now I'm trying to navigate and end up putting myself in a bad position to where I could wreck my port. When you go with the wind, you react to the market. Well, it's all indicators are blowing west. This is what we're doing. You go with it. It's an easier sale. It's an easier sale, and that's all I'm saying. Okay, so VIX is down right now. That's good. We're sitting at 18, 17. Okay, we're bouncing off the 200 day though. Okay, so I hate to say it, folks, but as of right now, ooh, see, when you get this, when you get this smart money divergence right here, all right, this indicates, let me see, this indicates, this indicates that the market is going to be moving up. All right, you see how S&P shoots down, Nasdaq shoots up. Well, that's exactly what you get. You get the Nasdaq pushing up. Okay. And this is something that we've been on the lookout for, okay, since yesterday, or not since yesterday, for the last past couple of weeks. I brought it up, okay. This happened all last night, all right. So while we're asleep, there was just nothing we could do about that, okay. Um, that's a great indicator to let us know on what the market's gonna do. But like I said, it happened while we were sleeping. What's a man to do? All right. So the market did shoot up, but I'm just saying, folks, we need oil to come back down. We need some type of resolution. If not, this market shot up off of nothing. War is still looming. It's still, anything could still happen. We could still fire off on China. If anything, we're right there now where it's such an easy access to just start bombing. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So either we can come to some type of negotiations and the market shoot up, or they try to get us out of a lot of good positions, take our money, bring the market back down, shoot it back up. Then we go past new all-time highs, or we just go straight into war and the market come down. All right. But either way, we're not full steam bull county until we see oil come down. All right. Y'all know me. When I'm a bull, I'm a bull. There's nothing you can really tell me. I'll look at people like they're crazy for shorting at certain times. When I'm a bear, I'm a bear. And I'm looking at people like they're crazy. Like, why are y'all getting into calls right now? You know what I'm saying? But hey, there's a method to everyone's madness. All right. But I want to be full bull the same way that I want to be full bear. All right. I need actual concrete evidence. Okay. So as right now, oil's still up at 92. Need to come back down into the lower 70s, 60s. VIX, we need to come back down to 13. Okay. We're sitting at 18. We could still easily pop up to 20s. Okay. Semiconductors, they're going through the roof. I love it. Let me see. Another one. The exchange rate. All right. See, they did a lot of selling here last Tuesday. Beautiful brought it up. A lot more selling here too. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. It really does, folks. It really does. Okay, but that's just my main thing, okay? That's just my main thing. Just be cautious, all right, folks. Gold, gold could probably come down too. All right. Yeah, man. Just be cautious on what you're putting your money into right now. Okay. So, I mean, that's pretty much all that I have for today. Um, real quick too. Let's go ahead. Bring it to Discord. All right. Nah, you know what? I'll address that in a whole different video. All right. As far as right now, it's pretty much all I got for y'all. So I hope y'all took today's information and just watching what the market does. Watch what the news is telling you. Watch what the government is doing on both ends, not just us, but China, Iran, Israel. Um, I already said us, right? Yeah. Um, we want to see how they're delegating everything right now more than anything. Okay. That's what's going to determine where the money is flowing in the market. Okay. This is very important stuff. Very important stuff. Okay. So take time, listen to the news, S- listen and see where the chess pieces are being moved to. Think about all the next moves that could happen from that. Then from there, go back, look at the charts. Okay. When it comes to charts, I'm holding sessions, like I said, every day at 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 Eastern. No, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I will show you how to read the charts. Okay. It's important that y'all learn to read the charts. It's like reading a newspaper, reading a book, reading someone's body language, and reading a room when you walk in. It is important to read the market before you step into the market. Okay. You're not going to go and just talk to somebody if you can read their body language and they don't want to be talked to. They want to be left alone. When you walk into a room and you don't read the room properly, you start saying crazy stuff. That's how you get kicked out of rooms. That's how you end up burning your portfolio. Learn to read the charts. Okay. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Pretty much wraps up today's sessions. Market's going to close in 2 minutes. Not even getting in anything. All right. So taking my time. Need y'all to understand that. Y'all need to do the same. God bless. Have a great day. Peace.